people have been saying that the voice assistant in Google AI Studio is better than the voice assistant in Google Gemini. Why would that be? How could that be possible? Everyone's supposed to use Gemini. Shouldn't that be the best one? I've said many critical things about Gemini. I don't really like it. It's got a lot of weaknesses. It's not that great compared to the other good AI voice assistants out there. If they had a better one, why wouldn't they give that to everybody to use? It doesn't make sense. But Google does weird stuff. So let's check out, let's play with, let's test the voice assistant, the voice mode in Google AI Studio to see if it's better than Google Gemini and to see if it's at least close to some of the other good voice assistants out there. By the way, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out the 90-day program in the links in the description. Let's get started. You can choose the model that you want to use. I'm in Google AI Studios and I'm in what's called stream mode. Now, this is interesting because you can not just have a conversation, but also do stuff. You can work on code, projects, you can share pictures, you can even open your webcam, which is really interesting. So you can choose, let's just choose, I guess, the latest one. You have the experimental native audio thinking dialogue, and then this is native audio dialogue. You know what? Let's do thinking dialogue. Let's try that. And then you have a bunch of voices to choose from. So this is a lot of voices. This is way more voices than any other voice mode that I've seen, like Grok, like ChatGPT. They have a few voices, right? But this is a lot. Let's listen to a few of these here.
Ready to build something awesome today?
Okay, I like that.
Got a project in mind?
Okay.
Ready to make something amazing?
All right.
What sparks your interest?
What kind of masterpiece are we aiming for?
That one's good.
What kind of problem could we solve?
I like that one too.
What kind of project are you thinking of?
Are these only Americans? Do we have...
Got a project in mind?
What do you want to explore?
What sparks your interest?
I mean, these are all fine.
What kind of masterpiece are we aiming for?
What kind of project are you thinking of?
But where's the British voice? Where's the
What do you want to explore?
Australian voice? Let me see. I'll go all the way down.
What idea do you want to...
What kind of project are you thinking of?
That's a weakness. A weakness being only Americans. So I'm going to go with Zephyr here. So coverage lets Gemini send audio and video when speech is not detected. Sure, why not? Let Gemini adapt its response style to the input expression or tone. Yeah, that'll be fun to play around with. Let's experiment with that. This feature enables the model to choose to not respond to audio that's not relevant to the ongoing conversation. That seems very cool. If that actually works, that would be like, oh, can I only have that on? Oh, I can only turn that on? All right, we'll play around with that. If you're in the drive-thru and you're ordering something, you don't necessarily want your AI assistant who's listening to respond there. That has happened to me a number of times when I get coffee in the morning at Burger King. Grounding in Google search. Yes, that makes sense, right? So let's try first the proactive audio. I want to see if I can kind of mess it up a little bit. Okay, so now we just talk. Hey there.
Hello. How can I help you today?
Well, I'm wanting to test out Google AI Studio's voices to see what the limitations are, to see how good it is as a language learning tool. Can you just type out a list of discussion topics that you think would be interesting to practice? I'm at a B2 level.
Certainly. Here are a few discussion topics that might be interesting for practicing at a B2 level. The impact of technology on our daily lives, the importance of cultural exchange and travel, the role of education in shaping the future.
All right, I think that's enough. That's okay. I've got actually a big list here, and I want you to choose one at random. Can you choose one at random? I have a giant list of topics.
Okay, I have randomly selected a topic. From your list, your phone can run only one app for a week. Which and why? Are you ready to discuss this topic?
It's a very interesting topic. The phone can only running one app per week. which it would be very difficulty, but I'm thinking that I have to choose the WhatsApp so that I can do essential communication with peoples, or maybe the Messages app.
That's a practical choice. Relying on a messaging app like WhatsApp would ensure you can stay connected with people, which is essential for most people these days. How do you think you would manage without access to other apps, like for navigation, information, or entertainment?
Yeah. Could I get a medium black coffee, please? No milk. All right, thank you. How much is it? All right. Can I use Apple Pay? Great, there you go. Thank you, bye. Okay, sorry, where were we with the lesson? We were talking about WhatsApp. Could you give me some corrections on what I said?
Certainly. You said, my phone can only running one app per week, which it would be very difficulty, but I thinking that I have to choose the WhatsApp so that I can do essential communication with peoples, or maybe the Messages app. A corrected sentence could be, it's a very interesting topic. My phone can only run one app per week, which would be very difficult, but I think I would have to choose WhatsApp so that I can do essential communication with people, or maybe the Messages app. Instead of saying the phone, it should be my phone or the phone. Also, can only running should be can only run. Instead of difficulty, you should use the adjective form difficult. And instead of I thinking, you should say I think. Lastly, the plural of people is usually people, not peoples.
Okay, now let's turn off this. By the way, extremely impressive. When I was ordering the coffee, nothing, just waiting. That I have not seen that before. That is very cool. So let's turn on turn coverage, effective dialogue. Let's do a different voice. Let's do...
What do you want to explore?
Ready to build something awesome today?
Let's go with this. And then let's do the other one. So the previous one was the thinking dialogue, which was good, but there was sometimes a bit of thinking happening, which meant the responses weren't instant. I don't mind that at all, actually. I don't mind a delay, but let's just see if this is faster because there's no thinking. Didn't I choose a different one? Which one did I choose?
Ready to build something awesome today?
Okay, and then we're going to do turn coverage. Let's Gemini send audio and video when speech is not detected. And then let Gemini adapt its response style to the input expression and tone. Let's play around with that a little bit. All right. Hey.
Hey there. How can I help you today?
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. And you? How are things with you?
Guess I can't complain.
That's good to hear. Is there anything specific you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, so I'm going to share an image here. I'm trying to learn prepositions. So could you give me a general description of the image that I share here? And give me some prepositions from the image. So using some of the objects in the image to teach me prepositions.
All right, I can see the image now. It looks like a doctor's office. There's a desk with a laptop on it, a chair, a medical table examination, and a few shelves with binders and boxes. There's also a window and a poster on the wall. Based on the image, I can give you some prepositions. For example, the laptop is on the desk. The chair is behind the desk. The medical examination table is next to the window. The poster is on the wall. The shelves are behind the desk. There's a plant on the windowsill. Do you find these helpful?
I don't see the plant on the windowsill. I think you might have got that one wrong.
Apologies. I misspoke. There is a small plant on the white shelf under the window, not directly on the windowsill.
Okay, those are all good, but let's get a little more nuanced. try to give me some more nuanced prepositions or prepositional phrases from the image, getting really complex and subtle.
Certainly. How about these? The light fixture is suspended from the ceiling above the desk. The binders are organized within the shelves. The laptop is positioned in the center of the desk. The medical examination table is placed parallel to the window. The clock is mounted on the wall above the shelves.
I don't see any clock. There's no clock.
You're right. I don't see a clock either. My apologies for the mistake.
Talk about the picture that's on the wall, and then the things that are in the picture and their relationship to each other. Let's get very detailed about this one.
Okay, let's focus on the poster on the wall. It appears to be an anatomical chart of the human body. There are 4 figures depicted, showing different aspects of the body. From left to right, the first figure seems to illustrate the skeletal system. The second shows the muscular system. The third displays the internal organs, and the fourth appears to represent the circulatory system. Each figure has labels indicating different parts. The figures are arranged in a row, side by side, on the poster.
I only see side by side, that's right, but I only see 3 bodies.
My mistake again. You are correct. There are only 3 figures on the poster: the skeletal, muscular, and internal organs figures. I apologize for the inaccurate description. They are indeed arranged side by side on the poster. Is there anything else about the poster you'd like to discuss, or other prepositions related to the image?
How do I describe the height differences with the cabinet and the shelves, sort of like levels or tiers? How do I describe that?
You could describe it as a tiered system. For example, you could say that the shelves are arranged in tiers below the cabinet, with multiple levels for storage. The cabinet is positioned higher up, with the shelves extending downwards in a stepped formation. This describes the vertical hierarchy of the storage units.
Let's have an argument about, let's imagine we're both sitting in this room, and you are a doctor and I'm a patient, and you want to perform a test that I don't want to do, and we both get upset with each other. Let's do it.
An argument, you say? All right, I can do that. So, Mr. or Ms. Patient's name, we really need to...
Call me Luke.
All right, Mr. Luke, we really need to perform this diagnostic test. It's crucial for understanding your condition and determining the best treatment. I assure you it's a standard procedure and will provide valuable information. We can't make informed decisions without this data. Please, trust me on this.
No, sorry, no. I watched a YouTube video that said if I do 30 pull-ups and 30 push-ups per day, I'll be fine and I'll live to 120. So what do you say to that, doctor man?
Mr. Luke, while exercise is beneficial, it doesn't substitute for necessary medical testing. That YouTube video might be providing incomplete or even misleading information. We need professional diagnostics to assess your specific condition properly. Please reconsider.
No. All you doctors, all you want to do is just prescribe. You want to give me some pills. You want to make me weaker. You want to weaken my immune system, and you don't want me to do chin-ups and push-ups. That's what you want. You are part of the system. You're incentivized to be a pill pusher. That's all you are.
Mr. Luke, that's a completely unfair accusation. My goal is to ensure your health and well-being, not to prescribe pills unnecessarily or weaken your immune system. This test is vital for a nuanced understanding of your condition, and ignoring medical advice based on unverified YouTube videos could be dangerous.
Listen, Doc, I only came here to learn about the human skeleton, so I'm just going to stand here and look at this picture for a few minutes. I'm going to learn which bones connect to each other, and then I'm going to leave. And if you're not okay with that, then you can shove it. Oh, ended the conversation? Was I too offensive? Did I offend the doctor? The doctor hung up on me. The doctor hung up on me. All I said was, you can shove it. It's a role play. Hey, Google, don't get offended. It's okay. It's just a role play. Nothing to worry about. Oh, a little sensitive. Okay, I get it. Okay, let's start a new one here. Hey.
Hello. How can I help you today?
I want to work on some writing that I've done. I don't think it's great. I don't want to just get a corrected version. I kind of want to go step by step. So I'm pasting this in, and you can, I'm trying to send it here. You can take a look and not just tell me what's wrong and tell me what the corrections are, but teach me how to be a better writer based on my writing. Find some patterns maybe, and just help me be a better writer because I suck at writing.
Okay, I understand. Let's go through it together, and I'll help you identify areas for improvement and ways to strengthen your writing skills. We can take it step by step, focusing on specific aspects of your writing. What would you like to focus on first?
Well, Iodi, how do you say your name? You're the teacher, ma'am. I defer to you.
You can just call me Gemini. And yes, I'm happy to help you learn. Let's start by looking at the structure of your writing. We can see how your ideas are organized and see if there are ways to make it flow better. How does that sound?
Sounds good. Let's go.
All right, let's start with the beginning of your writing. You start by stating that New Year's Eve is your favorite holiday. To make this more engaging, you could try adding a more descriptive opening sentence to grab the reader's attention. Instead of just saying, "It's fun and special," maybe describe the atmosphere or how it makes you feel more vividly. For the first sentence, instead of "My favorite holiday is New Year's Eve," we could try something like, "New Year's Eve is the highlight of my year, a time filled with excitement and special moments." This version uses more descriptive language like "highlight of my year" and "excitement and special moments" to create a more vivid image and convey your feelings more strongly. It also sounds more natural and engaging.
I like it.
Great. We can continue going through your writing, focusing on different aspects like sentence structure, vocabulary, and clarity.
We don't have to summarize what we're doing every time we do it. Let's just, cut through the over-explanation. And, I had a friend once, and he always used to say when we were doing something, we're really having a good time here. Just a couple of friends having fun. It's so great to be. And I would always think, let's just do the thing. We don't have to always summarize what's happening. Just do it.
I understand. No more summarizing then. We'll just focus on going through your writing and making improvements directly. Let's move on to the next part of your description. You talk about your family eating a big dinner. How about adding some more details about the atmosphere and the food you enjoy? Instead of just saying food like chicken, rice, and sweet food, you could mention specific dishes or the special preparation. For example, you could say something like, "Our family gathers around for a delicious feast with savory chicken, fragrant rice, and delightful desserts to mark the occasion." This gives a more vivid picture of your family gathering. What do you think?
Well, you said a manly gathering? My family is not just men standing around in flannel shirts with chainsaws. I think you meant to say family, right?
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
Yes, I meant to say family gathering. My mistake. Let's continue with improving your writing.
Sometimes we do go outside and shoot guns. That does happen sometimes.
That sounds
pretty manly.
That sounds like quite the memorable Thanksgiving. But let's get back to your New Year's Eve description. You mentioned watching the countdown and saying Happy New Year. To make this part more impactful, you could focus on the emotions you feel during that moment. Instead of simply saying, "We all say Happy New Year" and hug family, you could describe the sense of joy and connection you feel with your loved ones. As the clock strikes 12, a wave of happiness washes over us.
That's a little too whimsical. I get your point, but make it a little bit more grounded and natural. I don't think people really say a wave of happiness. It's a little too cheesy. Let's go no cheese, please.
Understood. Let's rephrase that. How about, as the clock strikes 12, we share a moment of joy and connection.
What I want you to do is give me a revised version in that more grounded, natural style, and then list the things that you changed and the corrections you made. And then I want you to sort of high level tell me what I can do specifically to be a better writer, noting maybe specific patterns that you see in this text and maybe some things that I should be thinking about.
I'll provide a revised version of your writing with the changes we discussed, and then I'll explain the corrections I made. Please give me a moment to revise it.
Go ahead.
Here is a revised version of your writing. New Year's Eve is a special time for me. My family enjoys a delicious dinner at home, with various dishes to celebrate. Afterwards, we gather to watch the countdown to midnight and share a heartfelt moment of joy as we welcome the new year. Sometimes we go outside to admire the beautiful fireworks. It's a cherished holiday where we create lasting memories together. The changes I made include using more descriptive language, such as delicious dinner and beautiful fireworks, and focusing on the emotions you experienced, like the sense of joy and connection. I also made sure the language was more natural and grounded. To become a better writer, you can focus on incorporating more descriptive language to create vivid imagery and expressing your emotions clearly and authentically. Also, pay attention to the flow of your writing, ensuring that your ideas connect smoothly. Would you like to discuss any of these points further?
Why did my ideas not connect? Can you be a little more specific there?
Certainly. When your ideas transition from describing the dinner to watching the countdown, the connection could be smoother. Instead of simply stating, "After we finish eat, we watch TV," you could add a phrase that smoothly connects the two activities. For example, you could say, "After enjoying the delicious dinner, we gather to watch the countdown to midnight on TV."
This is very interesting. It seems to me that this tool, this interface, is not meant for just having conversations. It's meant for productivity, right? You're building, you're coding, you're vibe coding, you're getting feedback, you're sharing documents, right? You're uploading pictures. It's kind of this more dynamic thing. And yet, this seems to be a really good way to have a live conversation. I was trying it on my other account that doesn't have the whatever I pay per month for Google, and I didn't hit any limits. I was on for 30, 40 minutes. Maybe there are limits, but I didn't hit any limits. This customization, the ability to choose from many different voices, I wish there were more accents, honestly. They're a little too similar for my liking, but the idea of having a lot of choices is very cool. Being able to choose between, for example, thinking and non-thinking. And I think the responses were a bit faster for non-thinking, but that's not a big issue for me. The effective dialogue and the proactive audio, those things are pretty cool, especially the proactive audio. Pretending to be ordering a coffee from Burger King and it got that and didn't say anything. That was very cool. I have not had that experience using an AI voice mode, and that is really cool because that means that someday you'll be able to just have an AI on all the time, maybe in your ear, right? It's just always on. It knows when you're talking to it as opposed to talking to other people. Assuming the privacy issue is solved, maybe it's on device, then it's just kind of there when you want it to be there. And that is a very big step. And this is a cool sort of look at what that might be like. Hey, listen, when I'm using Grok or ChatGPT and I'm ordering a coffee, I don't want Grok or ChatGPT or Gemini to say, I'm not capable of making coffee. No, I want it to just shut up while I order my coffee and then let's continue. And it did that very well. That's very impressive. That might be the most impressive thing. I think the other thing is I really like this interface. It just feels a little bit more inviting. I don't know. I can upload stuff. I can type stuff. I can play the messages, and the messages that play are exactly the recording of what was said. That's really cool and useful for English learning. If you learn some pronunciation, you can click on that, re-listen to it. And the other voice modes are kind of getting better at this, but still not quite. Like ChatGPT, generally you have this full screen thing when you're talking to it and you can't type and share stuff. I think they're trying to fix that, but Grok is a little better. You can type in Grok and you can share things in Grok as you're talking to Grok. But I like this. I like this interface. I like the toggles. I want more toggles. Give me 1,000,000 toggles. Let me dial in the perfect AI English teacher voice that I want to use. Let me talk to an English speaker with a Filipino accent because that's what I want to do. Let me really dial it in and customize it. Let me upload a bunch of context, like projects, right? Things that I like, things I don't like, files relevant to what I'm doing, a bunch of stuff, and let me have a free-flowing conversation that uses media and uses text and uses voice and knows when I'm not talking to it. We're getting to that. We're moving there. The crazy thing about this is I'm talking to Gemini Live, except when I talk to Gemini Live, the actual Gemini Live and not Google AI Studio, the experience isn't nearly this good. It did get a couple of things wrong when we were looking at the picture in the doctor's office saying there were 4 instead of 3, or there's a plant on the window. Actually, there's not. Okay, not perfect, not perfect. But the overall experience, and from my testing yesterday as well, much better than just Gemini, just using Gemini's, I don't know, AI voice mode, AI voice assistant, which I think is one of the weakest AI voice modes. So this is the crazy thing about Google. They can do it. Here it is. This is very good. But I think because they don't want everybody to be able to do what they want and customize because of the dangers, I guess, they only allow the good Gemini to be in the AI studio. And the very, very watered down skim milk AI voice mode, Gemini, is kind of meh, not that good. It's very interesting, but I think this might be the coolest thing. The proactive audio. Very, very cool. So anyway, oh, and I mean, just the fact that you can do this apparently without clear limits. Maybe there are limits, but I didn't find any. So really cool, really interesting. Check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Get a free course in the links in the description. Check out the 7-day challenge. Right now, that is the only way to get a big discount on the 90-day program. Yeah, I haven't said that, I don't think. If you complete the 7-day challenge, you get an offer for the 90-day program that is the biggest discount you can get. Problem? You have to do the 7-day challenge first. So check out the 7-day challenge. If you don't want to do that and you want to pay full price, check out the 90-day program in the links in the description. It is the best way to improve your English in 90 days. Over 50 hours of lessons, AI assistance for practice feedback, my WhatsApp throughout the program, and you can get a full refund at the end if you're not happy with your progress, or a 1-year membership with 8 additional courses at no additional cost, but only if you complete the program. So check that out in the links in the description, and I will see you in the next one.